What's good, everyone? This is day 55 of the 90-day YouTube challenge. I actually missed yesterday. I was very busy finishing up that workshop as I got certified to teach a form of Tai Chi called Primordial Tai Chi, also known as Wu Ji Gong. After that, had to rush home and headed to my dad's house. I'm going to be staying here for the week for Thanksgiving. And so I thought today I'd talk a little bit more about the Wu Ji Gong that I just took a workshop on, since it's fresh in my mind. A couple things I want to speak about it are sort of the Taoist principles, or the Taoist cosmology. And so at the highest level, I touched upon this in the last video, but the sort of highest level of the Tao that we are trying to kind of merge back into is called Wu Ji. And the Wu Ji is transferred as, or translated as this, it's not emptiness per se, it's more of a nothingness that is full of potential. So it was interesting, my teacher, Michael Wynn, also refer to this as the primordial chaos, or spontaneity of potential, that is sort of the cosmic womb that everything in the universe is birthed out of. And so if you were to apply numerology to this, that would be the number 0. It is beyond what can be conceived of. It is beyond the knowable. The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. This is one of the first lines in the Tao Te Ching. So this concept of Wu Ji, this is the primordial potential in which everything spontaneously arises out of. And this Wu Ji is sort of what we aim to kind of merge with or connect with in Wu Ji Gong. So this is sort of the very first principle. And then after Wu Ji, we have a movement into oneness. So if we're going back to numerology, 0 is Wu Ji, Tai Yi is 1, the oneness, where everything is in unity, everything, and this is knowable as well. So this is the first step, the first principle that can be conceived of. And this Tai Yi is self-awareness. It is consciousness itself, pure consciousness. The Tai Yi is, again, it's sort of this unbroken oneness. And from Tai Yi, we then go into the 2. And the 2 is what we know as the Yin and the Yang, the Tai Chi. The Tai Chi symbol is the Yin Yang symbol, that famous symbol that is sort of an S curve with one side black, one side white, a dot of white in the black side and a dot of black in the white side. The reason being is because whenever we have these 2 poles, there's always this seed of the opposite within it. So the Yang, being the white, has the seed of Yin in it. That's the black circle. And then the Yin has the seed of Yang in it. That's the white circle within the black side. And a concept there, something that I want to kind of highlight in this idea of Yin and Yang, is it's not necessarily a duality, because a duality implies this sort of separateness between the 2. It's more of a polarity, something that's always going back and forth between Yin and Yang. And this is the dance of light and darkness, masculine and feminine, Yin and Yang, day and night, all these different polarities. It's not a duality, but a polarity, moving back and forth between the 2. And so from the 2, we then move into the 3. Because whenever we have this polarity, there's always a balance point in between. And this balance point is the Yuan Qi, which is actually the original oneness that is in the Tai Yi. So if you if you go back to the one is actually a neutral force of Yuan Qi. Yuan Qi being sort of our original energy. So this Yuan Qi is actually also the balance point in the three principles of Yin, Yang, and then Yuan Qi. From the three, you then go to the 5 elements. The 5 elements, if you've seen some of the previous videos, are fire, water, fire being Yang, water being Yin, wood is Yang, metal is Yin, and then the earth is usually the balance point, the sort of the neutral force that we're trying to build up, because the earth holds all the other elements in balance. And so this is different from other alchemical systems, such as yoga or the Western mystery traditions, because in those traditions we have spirit as the sort of the 5th element. And so this is another interesting point that my teacher Michael Wynn brought up in the workshop, these 2 different lineages of alchemy. And he claims that this actually goes back to early ancient races of humans. You might have heard of the culture of Atlantis and Lemuria. So he, according to Michael Wynn, the Atlantean lineage and culture was more masculine, more solar, and they passed down this solar form of alchemy, which manifested in the Judeo-Christian world, the yogic world. So the Indian traditions are mostly sort of Atlantean in origin, stuff like that. And then on the other hand, the Taoist lineage apparently comes from Lemuria, because Lemuria was more associated with the divine feminine, which is why in Taoist alchemy, the earth element is actually the 5th force that holds the balance. So it's very interesting stuff. I mean, take it with a grain of salt. If who knows if Lemuria and Atlantis were even real. I mean, according to my teacher, they were. So, it's really interesting to think about. I know in my own life, I've been trying to study both these forms. I love yoga. I love Taoist alchemy. I love it all. So, for me, it's really just finding how the 2 relate and how I can kind of reconcile them. And I think that's about all I want to speak of today, just in regards to primordial Tai Chi and Wu Ji Gong. So I'm now actually certified to teach that, and if you're interested, feel free to reach out to me. I can take you through this Tai Chi form, which is very beautiful. It's very shamanic in a way, I would say, and ceremonial. The reason being is because it's one of the few Tai Chi forms that actually faces each direction and goes around in this circle and then creates a sort of torus, and it's a very gathering sort of form. A lot of forms, Tai Chi actually comes out of martial arts, trying to defend oneself as well as pushing Chi away, but this form is really all about gathering the Chi and gathering in, using sacred geometry and movements of the body. So I find this form very powerful. It always leaves me feeling with a very clean and pure energy. It also just gets the Chi flowing very easily. And whenever you set an intention with it, which is something that we ended up doing in the workshop, and it's actually part of the practice, you can make this a very ceremonial magic type of practice. So I'll be trying to start teaching those, maybe on some online classes. So if you are interested, maybe keep a lookout for that. In the meantime, I hope you are well. As always, with love and light, may peace be with you.